Hello, I'm Erin Hart, and I'm currently a freshman from Northern New Jersey. In this presentation, I'm going to explain what I've learned about the process of design by going through a few projects. Design is a complex field. As a designer, you have to apply multiple different intelligences to the three different categories of design. That's design thinking, knowledge, and skills. Throughout the presentation, I'm going to apply and explain these concepts in relation to my projects. So the first project is the expressive type project. For this, I had to select 3 different words and alter the type to make it convey the meaning of the word. The use of typography and different typefaces was limited because I was restricted to only using the Arial font. So I had to use my creative thinking and come up with a way to arrange the letters to express their actions. The first word I chose was break. To make the visual rhetoric convey the action of breaking, I cut the word in half by making it appear as if the A and the K are hanging off. I added the word break multiple times in smaller font around the area it's being cut to express stress marks or pieces being frayed off. The second word is climb, so I arranged the letters to appear as if they're physically climbing up the wall of the frame. And the last word is frown. The letters are arched to recreate the formation your mouth would make as if you were frowning. The biggest challenge of this project was coming up with a design that was outside of the box but also stayed in the restrictions of the project. For the second project, I had a lot more freedom. This project asked me to find a problem that would be solved with design. Problem solving is a major part of design because most of the time designers are hired to create something that fixes a problem by applying their analytical intelligence to come up with a logical solution with well-informed decisions. Designers also apply practical intelligence by coming up with an idea that can reasonably be implemented. The problem I chose to analyze is how during critiques, artists' projects are damaged by the push pins used to hang them, as shown in the first image. The small holes may not seem like a big deal, but the subtle imperfections reduce the presentation quality of the piece. Another issue with the current system is where the pins are stored. When coming up with a solution to the problem, I had to take a human-centered approach by considering who the problem is affecting and how to create a solution that is directed towards them. In my class, I noticed a majority of the artists were rather short and could not see into the box the pins were being placed that was hung high on the wall, restricting them from safely picking up the pins. My solution is to replace the current board with a magnetic board so that artists can use magnets to hang their work because this way they won't get punctured. The board would also have a designated area to place the magnets when not in use that would be at a reasonable height for all students to easily access. One issue that may arise with my solution is hanging projects that are too thick for the magnets to work through. To solve this problem, I proposed the design of a magnet that has an extendable arm that can be stretched out to hook around the projects. The last project is the icon button project. The first step was to create a mind map, which is a commonly used source for a problem-solving tool, because it allows designers to quickly jot down all their ideas when in the ideation phase of the design process. But for this project, it was used to analyze aspects of my life. Starting with my name, I branched off into separate categories, and I maintained organization by using the hierarchical scale, making different words different sizes to create emphasis. For the next step, I reviewed my mind map and chose 3 categories that were the most significant in my life. This is the iteration phase, where I had to apply my creative intelligence to repeatedly come up with quick, innovative, and engaging designs. The 3 categories I chose were family, concussions, and travel. Once I completed my quick sketches, I moved on to the second part of the iteration phase. By selecting the images that I think can most successfully convey the topic's visual rhetoric in a form of an icon. Icons are supposed to be easily understood in the general public. So I reference my social and analytical intelligence to analyze how people interpret certain images and to pick images that have internationally understood messages, leading to these three concepts: interlocking wedding rings and a binky, a damaged brain with stress marks, and a globe with pins indicating where I've traveled. Next, I had to bring my black and white sketches to life. I decided to create my icons in Adobe Illustrator. Illustrator is the program that made me want to become a designer. When I first started using this program, I was amazed at the ability to create three-dimensional images that can appear three-dimensional. I'd like to work in a design field that mainly uses Illustrator, possibly logo or package design. These images display the different steps I took when creating the family icon and how I constantly was editing the design. One piece of design knowledge I've learned is how design is a process of trial and error. I went through this process for all three icons to come up with these final designs, using different gradients, colors, and shadows to create simple but dimensional icons. The final step of this project was to make the icons into buttons, which I proudly put straight onto my backpack. Thank you for viewing my presentation, and I hope my project displays the design skills I have learned these past 2 semesters, and I can't wait to develop them with the semesters to come.